Namaste students. Today we are going to start with next topic of our class 11, that is linear inequalities. Okay, before I start the topic, one thing, we will do all the concepts related to NCERT first of all, then we are going to do NCERT examiner. Alright, so now starting with the topic linear inequalities. See children, you are aware about linear equations. You have done in your class 10, you have done in your junior classes, you have done linear equations in one variable or two variables. And everyone is aware about what equations are. Alright, if I say x plus 2 is equals to 0. That's an equation in one variable. Alright. If I say 2x minus y plus 3 is equals to 0. This is an equation in two variables. Now the question is, and moreover you have done some statements translating them into mathematical equations. You have done some statements converting them into mathematical statements. But it's not always possible. When I say some statements translating them into mathematical problem, it means you have done the word problems related to equations. Remember, you have done the word problems. You have to convert that word problem into a mathematical situation and then you had to solve it. But it's not always possible. There may be some statements which may not be converted into equations, So, some statements have inequalities. Some statements have inequalities, symbols, which are less than, equals to, greater than, equals to. Alright, there are certain statements which may not be converted into the word problems, which may not be converted into mathematical situations. So what do? Those kind of statements have certain symbols of inequalities. These are called inequalities, which are less than, greater than, less than or equals to, and greater than and equals to. And these terms are not new for you all. Alright, so these symbols are called inequalities or inequations. Is it clear? Inequation. These are not equation. These are not equated to something like this. It is either less than or greater than or less than equals to or greater than equals to. So this topic linear inequality is all about the inequalities. We are going to deal with these four signs. Which signs are you going to deal with? The signs are this one. Clear? So these four signs in any expression where we use these four signs are called inequalities. And children, this topic is very, very important. It is used in many branches like maths. Definitely we are doing in that. Sciences, economics, statistics. Alright. So this chapter is of importance of all the streams which those who have to do this. Clear? Everyone? Now, let's see the definition. What we are going to do now. Okay, now, as we have done, and I told you, we have done equations in one variable, two variables. Alright, the same way, the inequalities also occurs in one variable as well as two variables. Right now, what are we going to start with? We are going to start with linear inequalities, or inequation we may call them, in one variable. Linear inequalities in one variable. Now, what is the definition? A statement. We convert a statement into mathematical equations or inequations. A statement between two expressions involving single variable, say x. Involving single variable, say x, with highest power 1. With highest power 1, because we are doing linear inequalities in one variable. Very clear from name, one variable means it should have only one variable. That can be any variable. It can be x, y, z, anything. Alright? And when I say linear, you all know linear means the highest power should be 1. The highest power should be 1. So with the highest power 1 and the sign of inequality. Because we are not doing equation. Equation means equals to. When I say inequality, a statement between two expressions involving one variable with the highest power 1. Alright? And involving inequalities. You know that inequalities we have already discussed. It may be less than, it can be greater than, it can be less than equals to, it can be greater than equals to. Alright? If an expression involves one variable, highest power 1, and any inequality, any sign, that is called a linear inequality. That is called linear inequality. Let's see the examples. If I talk about examples, alright, say, here is a 2x plus 7 less than 4. So that's a linear inequality. It has one variable whose highest power is 1 and one of the inequality is involved in this. Alright, if I say 3x minus 2 greater than 0, that's an inequality. If I say 7x plus 4 less than equals to 2, that's an inequality. 4, if I say 5 by 8 x greater than equals to 4, that's an inequality. Is it clear? So I hope the linear inequality in one variable is clear to everyone. A statement between two expressions which has one variable with the highest power 1, and when one of the equality is used, alright, we can use any sign of inequality. That's called linear inequality in one variable. Linear inequality in one variable. Alright, we are going to do the general forms of this. What are the general forms of linear inequalities? Let's do general forms. General forms. Like when I say equation, when I say inequalities, they have a general form. Like in equation, if I talk about in two variables, ax plus by plus c is equals to 0. In one variable, ax plus b is equals to 0. Same way, inequalities also have general forms. First, ax plus b, we have 4. So we have 4 general forms. Ax plus b greater than c. Then we have ax plus b greater than equals to c. Ax plus b less than some number, and ax plus b less than equals to c. Alright, so these are the general forms of linear inequalities. Ax plus b greater than c, ax plus b greater than equals to c, ax plus b less than c, ax plus b less than equals to c. The examples which were written before it, if you correlate, all are correlated with one of the forms mentioned here. Alright children, so now one more thing, the inequalities which involves signs less than or greater than, these are called strict inequalities. Strict inequalities. Strict means या तो सिर्फ लेस देन है या ग्रेटर देन है, इक्वल नहीं. Strict inequalities and inequalities which involves less than equals to or greater than equals to are called slack inequalities. Slack inequalities. Is this clear? Alright, slack inequalities. Because here it is not strictly less than or strictly greater than, it can be equal. Children, one thing, because inequalities, these symbols are not new to you. You are doing it from your junior classes. For numbers, you have already done. 4 is less than 5, that you know. 5 is greater than 4, that you know. Is it clear? Now we are doing it as inequations where the variables are involved. I hope it's clear up to here. So these are the general forms. First of all, ax plus b greater than c, ax plus b greater than equals to c, ax plus b less than c, ax plus b less than equals to c. Alright, the inequalities which involve these two signs are called strict inequalities, and the inequalities involve these signs are called slack inequalities. I hope it's clear to here, everyone up to here. Alright, now we will do replacement set and solution set. Now what is replacement set? A set from where we get the value of variable, say x. If we have done the inequalities involving x, the set, the bigger set from where we get the values of x. Is it clear? For example, it can be set of natural number, it can be whole numbers, it can be real numbers, anything. So replacement set is a bigger set from where we get the values of x. Alright, fine. And what is solution set? What is solution set? Solution set is a subset of replacement set It is a subset of replacement set which satisfy the inequality, Is it clear? Replacement set is a bigger set from where we are going to get the values of x. Alright? And solution set is exactly what values of x we get. That's a solution set. And solution set is a subset of replacement set. If you remember, we have done the chapter 2 also, domain, range, codomain. If you remember codomain and range, alright, codomain from where we get the values of y, and range what exactly the value of y we get it. So it's same. Replacement set is a bigger set from where we are going to get the values of x, and what exactly we get, that is called solution set. Let's support it with an example. Let's see some example. For example, I have some say linear inequality. Say I have x less than 4. Alright, my inequality is x less than 4. Now first, replacement set is given to me. Replacement set, say that is set of natural numbers. Children, I hope, and we always presume when we are doing a next chapter, you know the basics. Sets we did, first chapter was our sets, where we did subset, you remember? Alright, so the set word is not new to you. The subset is not new to you. Alright, so all the chapters are interrelated. When we are doing one chapter, we presume you know all the previous things. You have done the things thoroughly. Fine. So replacement set. If my replacement set is natural number, let's see what will be solution set. What will be solution set? And if you remember, representation of sets, we represent set in two forms. Like when set builder form and the roster form. I hope you all remember. Set builder form, roster form. Here what does it mean? Solution set means if I want to write down in set builder form, it is x is less than 4 where x belongs to n. Alright, all the natural numbers which are less than 4. सभी natural numbers लिखने हैं जो less than 4 होंगे. अगर मैं इसे roster form में लिखती हूँ तो कौन-कौन से आएंगे? Natural number starts from 1, 1, 2, 3. Because it is less than 4, so I can't take 4. Alright children, clear? Same example if I do, let my replacement set is whole numbers. So what will be my solution set? What is whole number? What is the set of whole numbers? You all know it starts from 0. So my solution set is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2 and 3. If I say my replacement set is integers, set of integers. So what will be my solution set? What are integers, children? Integers are all negative positive numbers. Alright, negative and positive numbers. So it will be 0, 1, 2, 3. I can't go beyond this because it is less than 4. 3. And this side, because it is less than 4, so I can go anywhere this side. So it's going to be -1, -2, -3 and so on. Less than 4. Less than 4 means all the integers which are less than 4. Starting from 3 to 1, 0, -1, -2, -3 and so on. So I hope it's clear. Replacement set from where we get the value of n, x, and solution set is what exactly the values of x I get. And it is always a subset of replacement set. Solution set is a subset of replacement set.